Very good morning to all of you. Today we are discussing the applications of Gauss theorem. First of all, we discuss a physical term, Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface is nothing but a hypothetical closed surface enclosing a charge. Why we are discussing here? Because when we applied Gauss law from in their applications, so we use a Gaussian surface. So first of all, electric field due to infinitely long state wire. So there is wire having charge plus. Now if we calculate it, we can consider a Gaussian surface around it. So in this case, a cylindrical Gaussian surface makes it. Suppose that P be any point at which we calculate electric field. So the whole wire is breaks into S1, S2, S3, means three surfaces. Here we can assume three area elements, ds1, ds2, ds3. Now we make area vector for all. This surface is look like this, so area vector is in this direction. This surface is look like this, so area surface in this direction, and this is this, so the area surface in downward direction. So let us consider a uniform infinitely long charge wire having linear charge density lambda. Suppose P be any point at which we calculate electric field. The figure shows a Gaussian surface around a positive charge wire. Now, according to the definition of electric flux, phi will be equal to. So in this case, the flux divided into three parts, S1, S2, S3. So integral one surface E dot ds1 plus 2 E dot ds2 plus integral 3 E dot ds3. Here, what is the angle between E and ds1? The answer is 90 degree. In the similar way, in third case, the angle is 90 degree, but in second case, the angle is 0 degree. So here theta will be equal to 90 degree, theta will be equal to 0 degree, and theta will be equal to again 90 degree. So what's happening? Phi E equal to this term E dot ds. It will be E ds 1 cos theta. Theta is 90, so it comes out to be 0, plus this one only E ds 2 plus this term again 0. So phi equal to line integral E ds, E is comes out ds2 according to Gauss theorem. Phi equal to Q upon epsilon naught. So Q upon epsilon naught will be equal to E into ds is the surface area of cylinder and it is nothing but 2 pi rl. This is r and the length of this is l. So E equal to q upon 2 pi epsilon naught r into l. But inner charge density is nothing but the ratio of charge per unit length. So E equal to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught r. Newton per coulomb. In vector form, E equal to lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught r r cap. So how it is varies with distance? Variation of E versus R. E is reciprocal to 1 upon R. So if we plot it, this is R E. So the graph is going to look like this. If lambda greater than 0, that means electric field at every point radially outward. If lambda is less than 0, so electric field radially inwards. This is the first application of Gauss theorem. ध्यान से देखिए, हमने इस फॉर्मूले को पहले भी ड्राइव किया था by the use of electric field due to point charge, and when we take this, there are more complications, some integral, some where break in electric field components, vertical or horizontal. But now if we apply Gauss theorem, this calculation is much easier, so that's why we are use Gauss theorem. Now the second application is electric field due to uniformly charged sheet. The second application is electric field due to uniformly charged sheet. Here, let us suppose we have Gaussians, we have a sheet look like this. Now make a Gaussian surface again. Like this. So we make again area elements here, this one, ds1 here, like this, ds2. So due to these charges, in this case electric field is going in this direction, E, and in this case electric field is going in this direction, E. Now what is the direction of area vector? Here small area element is in this direction, so it is normally outward, and the similar way in this direction. So this is the direction of area vector, and this is the direction of area vector. So suppose a uniformly plane charge sheet having surface charge density sigma, we draw a Gaussian surface to calculate electric field due to plane sheet. Now according to the definition of electric flux, phi will be equal to integral E dot ds1 plus integral E dot ds2. So phi will be equal to, suppose A is the area of plate or sheet. So now what is the angle between this surface? Answer is 0. Here theta is again 0. So theta will be equal to 0 and theta will be equal to 0. So integral EDS plus integral EDS. Now ds1 and ds2 are equal. So phi will be equal to E A plus E A. According to Gauss theorem, Q upon epsilon naught will be equal to twice of E into A. So E will be equal to Q upon 2 epsilon naught A. This is charge per unit area, so it will nothing but surface charge density sigma. Vector form, E will be equal to sigma upon 2 epsilon naught n cap. In this formula, what you see, how electric field vary in case of plane sheet charge. So the answer is electric field is constant. It is not vary because sigma for a particular surface is constant. Epsilon naught is again constant. So electric field is constant due to plane charge sheet. Now there are some cases. What happen if two plane sheets are parallel to each other? How the electric field are produced? So suppose that I have two plane sheets like this. And again here. Suppose this surface density is sigma 1, this is sigma 2. Let us say this is point P, this is point Q, this is point R. Now what is the electric field at P, Q and R? First thing, you must sigma 1 is greater than sigma 2 and both of them is greater than 0. Now first of all, what is the electric field at point P due to both these? So the answer is due to plate first and due to plate second. Due to plate first, what is the direction of electric field? Answer is in this direction. Due to second is again in this direction. So net electric field at P, so E at P will be equal to the resultant electric field is going in this direction. So according to this, E1 and E2 are must be opposite in direction, both of them. So E1 with minus sign minus E2 minus, what is this, sigma upon 2 epsilon naught, we take sigma 1 minus sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught, so minus 1 upon 2 epsilon naught within bracket sigma 1 plus sigma 2. Now what is the net electric field at point Q? First of all, what is the direction of electric field due to sheet 1? Answer is in this direction, but due to this it is in opposite direction, so this is in this direction, E2. So net electric field at Q, E2 minus E1. So EQ will be equal to, what is E2? Sigma 2 upon 2 epsilon naught minus sigma 1 upon 2 epsilon naught. E at Q will be equal to 1 upon 2 epsilon naught within bracket sigma 2 minus sigma 1. Now what is net electric field at R? Now what is the direction? Due to this, the answer is in this direction. and for the second case again the answer is in this direction. So in this case both of directions will be same, so net charge will be added of these two. So it will be comes out sigma 1 plus sigma 2. एक्चुअली हमारे बुक्स में इस पर कुछ न्यूमेरिकल्स हैं, सो यू मस्ट बी कंसीडर्ड इट. नाउ एक छोटी सी चीज और, and what is that? Here the answer is E1 minus E2 because of surface charge density at point 2 is less than the surface charge density of 1, so it will be a little bit error. This is 1, this is 2. Now what happens if this sheet is negatively charged? Now let us say, suppose that sigma 1 बराबर sigma and sigma 2 बराबर minus sigma. Minus sigma indicates that second plate is negatively charged. If second plate is negative charged, what is the electric field at point P, Q and R? So we put here sigma 1 is sigma, sigma 2 is minus sigma, so it will comes out to be 0. So at point P electric field is 0, means outside the plate first electric field is 0. Outside the plate third again electric field, it means that electric field is exists in between two if both of the plates are in opposite charge. So electric field at point Q in this case is 1 upon 2 epsilon naught into sigma plus sigma, so it will becomes out sigma upon epsilon naught, which is again constant. Now what is the direction? What is the direction? Suppose that this plate is negatively charged, so how the direction is changed? Now this and this. So again this is sigma 1, so it is obviously in the direction E1, but this plate is negatively charged, so it radially inverts, so it going in this direction. At this point E1, but due to this it again in this direction. Here due to positive it is in going in this direction, but due to this it negative in this direction. So this is one more important theory. When two parallel sheets are facing to each other, then how electric field, or what is the electric field between and outside the plates? The last application of Gauss theorem is electric field produced due to a spherical body. We are not much concerned about it, but the graph, third application is electric field due to spherical shell. So suppose that there is a shell look like this. Let us say there's a point O. Now there are three cases to calculate electric field. First, suppose there's the radius of spherical shell is r. Case first, electric field outside the shell means, suppose there's a Gaussian surface like this, and this is small r. So let us take a small element. Suppose there is a small element like this. This is the direction of area vector n cap ds, and this is again the direction of electric field. So according to electric flux, phi equal to integral of EDS, and the angle in between these two is 0, so equal to integral EDS. Now according to Gauss theorem, phi equal to q upon epsilon naught. So q upon epsilon naught will be equal to, E comes out to be outside, but what is ds? Is a surface area, and it is nothing but 4 pi r square. So E will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into q upon r square. What it conclude that? It means that electric field due to spherical body outside the shell behaves like a point charge. So electric field outside the shell behaves like a point charge. Case second, on the surface. So we can put small r equal to capital R. E will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into q upon capital R square, and sigma equal to sigma q upon 4 pi r square. So it will nothing but again sigma upon epsilon naught, that is constant. Now case third is inside. Inside means, suppose in this we make it, but we know that there is no charge present inside a conductor, so charge is 0. That means electric field is 0. Now we plot a graph for all the things. Suppose this is a spherical body having radius r. So inside it, electric field is zero, so there is no variation, and on the surface it is constant. On the surface it is constant. So the line is look like this. Like this, and outside it behaves like a point charge, so it going on decreasing like this. Like this. So this is all about electric field and charges. So today your first chapter of class 12 will be finished. Now we take numerical portion in the next lecture. So for today, thank you.